Welcome to my neighbor's roof. I'm up here because it's one of the best places in the neighborhood to see birds, and I'm trying to see if I can study up and recognize the birds that are around here. And I figure that if I do my studying up here at the same place where I'm going to be looking for them, then I might be able to remember them better and identify them better. Why? Well, because of something called retrieval cues. Remember those words. I'll be talking about it in a little bit.
Oi! Who the bloody hell are you? Get off my roof!
So the thing about memory is that no memory is an island. No memory exists in an isolated way in your mind. Every memory that we have is linked with other memories. So for example, if you spent a nice afternoon in the park, you might have the memory of the smell of freshly cut grass or the sounds of children playing on the playground. Each of these memories are sort of linked to the overall memory of being in the park and connected as if by threads on a web. And activating any one memory actually not only sends a signal of activation to that memory itself, but that activation will start to spread to other associated memories, as if that activation is traveling along the threads of the web. Now, some associations are stronger than others. So I'll give you an example. If I were to remind you of Marvel's Avengers, the superhero team, you might immediately conjure up an image or a mental representation of Captain America or Iron Man or Black Widow or Thor or the Hulk. These might be very vivid images that come to mind because they're so strongly linked to the word Avengers, right? But you might also find that activation starts to travel a little bit further along the web, but in a less strong fashion. So you might also conjure up images of Batman or Wonder Woman, who, of course, are not Avengers themselves. In fact, they're owned by a completely different company. But they may be linked in your mind to other superheroes. You might even find that activation starts to spread even further to other characters involved in these superhero stories, like the Joker. And if you're a real comic book fan, then you might even start to conjure up images of some famous comic book creators like Stan Lee or Jack Kirby. But the idea is that the further away these memories are from the one that was initially activated, the less strongly they're activated. And again, this idea that activation of one memory starts to spread and activate other linked memories is known as spreading activation. Now that's one reason why when I was up on my neighbor's roof trying to learn and study how to identify birds, I wanted to do it out in an environment where I was going to be trying to recall the names of birds. In my mind, I was hoping that the actual external environment would serve as sort of what we call a retrieval cue. That's something that's linked something that will activate my memories simply because of its association and the way it activates spreading activation. And I wasn't far off on that idea. Evidence suggests that the external environment certainly can serve as what we would call a retrieval cue in that way. In one classic study, experimenters recruited scuba divers and had them study lists of items either while they were underwater in their scuba gear or while they were on land. And then they tested them. And the twist was that they tested them either on land or underwater, so that the environment that they were in when they were tested either matched or didn't match the environment they were in when they were encoding that material. And it turned out that they performed better. They had when the environment they were tested in matched the environment that they had encoded the information in. In other words, the environment around them served as a retrieval cue. This is known as context-dependent memory. Here's something else cool. It turns out that it's not just the external environment that can serve as a retrieval cue. Evidence suggests that our own internal states, like our emotions or our moods, can also serve as a sort of retrieval cue. That's something called mood-dependent memory. What researchers have found is that when people are in a particular mood, say a sad mood or a happy mood, they have an easier time retrieving memories that are consistent with that mood that they're in right now. So in other words, our own internal states, our own emotions, can serve as a retrieval cue to help to ease the retrieval process for some of our memories.